In the world of electric cars, everybody knows the rise of Tesla. But what about the massive failures? What if I told you there was a company that started before Tesla, got huge financial backing from the US government, and built a luxury car that was the talk of celebrities and even presidents? A company that wanted to be the iPhone of the automotive world, but failed. Not once, but twice. How does a company that seems to have all the ingredients for success completely collapse? What deadly mistakes did the leadership make? And can other startups in the auto world learn from its downfall? This is the story of Fisker, the company that wanted to rule the world, but couldn't even survive. Our story begins with legendary car designer Henrik Fisker, the man behind iconic cars like the BMW Z8 and the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Henrik saw the future clearly. Electric cars were coming. And in 2007, he founded Fisker Automotive with his partner. The vision? Simple, but bold. Create an electric car that combines luxury, high performance, and jaw-dropping design. Not just a car, but a piece of art. This was the beginning of Fisker's first chapter. In 2011, Fisker launched their first car, the Karma. And it was stunning. Sleek design, 400 horsepower, and a hybrid system that could go 50 miles on pure electric before the gas engine kicked in. Back then, that was groundbreaking technology. The car instantly became a Hollywood favorite. Leonardo DiCaprio bought one. Heads of state praised it. It looked like everything was going perfectly. But behind the scenes, the problems were piling up. So, what went wrong? It came down to 3 deadly mistakes. First, relying too heavily on outside suppliers. Fisker didn't build their own cars. Production was handled by a Finnish company, batteries by another supplier. That meant they had little control over quality or production speed. Second, quality issues. The Karma had recurring problems with its batteries and electrical systems, leading to expensive recalls. Imagine a $100,000 luxury car suddenly shutting down in the middle of the road. That destroyed the brand's reputation. Third, disasters and bad luck. In 2012, floods destroyed the main battery supplier's factory. And that same year, Hurricane Sandy wiped out 300 brand new Karmas waiting to be shipped. Those hits were the final blow. After all that, the company ran out of cash. Even with massive government loans, they couldn't save themselves. By 2013, Fisker officially declared bankruptcy. It was a sad ending to a big dream. The assets were sold to a Chinese company, the Fisker name abandoned. But this wasn't the end of the story. It was just the end of the first chapter. Years later, Henrik Fisker came back. In 2020, he founded Fisker Inc. This time, the promise was an affordable EV, the Fisker Ocean. The new company started strong, raising huge amounts of money from investors. But old problems started to creep back. Production delays, quality issues, heavy reliance on outside suppliers again. This time, they were using Austria's Magna Steyr to build their cars. The same mistake all over again. It was like history was repeating itself, with new faces. By 2024, the crisis peaked. The company announced it might not survive. Cash was running out. Stock prices were collapsing. Once again, Fisker failed to deliver on its promises. They couldn't sell enough cars, couldn't fix the management mess. This was the bitter second ending. It's as if the company was cursed to fail, no matter the circumstances. Fisker's collapse isn't just about bad luck. It's about poor management, over-reliance on others, and the inability to face the brutal realities of the car industry. The story of Fisker is a valuable lesson for every startup. Success in the car business isn't just about beautiful design and big promises. It demands full control over production, relentless quality, and strong leadership that can take the hits and keep going. Fisker wanted to be the iPhone of the auto world, but never realized that Apple controlled everything, from product design to the supply chain. Maybe Fisker's story will stand as a permanent reminder that ambition alone is never enough. If you ask me, Fisker's story is one of the most fascinating and frustrating cautionary tales in modern business. On paper, they had the dream formula. A world-class designer at the helm, early government backing, celebrity endorsements, and a bold product that stood out in a sea of boring designs. But the auto industry, it's not a place where good ideas automatically win. It's a battlefield where execution and control decide who survives. The biggest problem was never the car itself. It was the structure of the business. Fisker didn't have full control over manufacturing. They were at the mercy of suppliers, contractors, and partners whose priorities were never perfectly aligned with Fisker's vision. That's like building your dream house, but handing the keys to someone else halfway through construction and hoping they care as much as you do. Compare that to Tesla. Say what you will about Elon Musk, but Tesla fought tooth and nail to keep production in-house. They built their own factories, developed their own battery tech, and while they stumbled plenty of times, they learned from those stumbles without blaming an outside partner. The other big issue was the inability to adapt. When you're a small player in a cutthroat industry, you can't afford to make the same mistake twice. But Fisker did exactly that, outsourcing manufacturing again with Fisker Inc., falling into the same dependency trap. And in a market moving as fast as EVs, every delay, every recall, every problem hits 10 times harder. Financially, Fisker was also on shaky ground. It's one thing to raise big money from investors, it's another to manage it with discipline. Scaling too fast, relying on hype, and not having a solid tested supply chain is like trying to win a marathon with aspirin in the first mile. You look great at the start, but you're crawling by the halfway point. In a world dominated by relentless innovation and fierce competition, the fate of the EV market remains precarious. Brands must not only innovate, but also prioritize sustainability, efficiency, and customer satisfaction. Fisker's journey serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the harsh reality that appealing designs alone cannot secure success. The onus is on them to embrace a new ethos, one that combines engineering acumen with strategic foresight. Future efforts must be rooted in a philosophy that values transparency and accountability, where every vehicle produced reinforces the brand's commitment. To rise from the ashes, Fisker must engage deeply with its community, harnessing feedback and rebuilding its reputation as a trusted player in the electric vehicle realm, where every car tells a story of resilience. Fisker's revival could hinge on partnerships with established tech firms, integrating cutting-edge software that enhances user experience while ensuring safety and reliability. Furthermore, they might consider a streamlined approach to their supply chain, emphasizing sustainability to attract environmentally conscious consumers. Ultimately, this renewed commitment could pave the way for a bright electric future. The road ahead for Fisker is fraught with challenges, yet within these trials lies the potential for a remarkable comeback. To thrive in the competitive EV landscape, Fisker must not only innovate but also cultivate a loyal customer base by delivering quality without compromise. If they can harness this opportunity, they might very well transform their narrative from a cautionary tale into a triumphant success story.